CHAMPS Live is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor. And the Detroit Medical Center. Do you have a sports injury or are just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
Hi, everyone, and this is episode 27 of State Champs Live, presented by Lawrence Tech. Lawrence Technological University offers 27 teams across 22 sports, track and field, even men's volleyball, just some of the newest offerings. There is nothing quite like the feeling of being a college athlete. I know you've dreamed about it. Well, check this out. If you go over to ltuathletics.com and click the Be Recruited tab on the homepage, fill out the questionnaire for your sport, and the incredible coaching staff will get it. Recruit yourself. You can even intern with the State Champs Sports Network team while you're living the dream and getting one of the best educations out there. It all begins at ltuathletics.com. It is a feel-good Thursday, and we are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. My name is Lauren Platt. Today's conversation with today's guest in moments, but first, let's check out the headlines for Thursday, May 7th.
Next year's showcase is stacked. The field for next year's Grand Rapids Union Red Hawk Showcase is absolutely stuffed with a dozen teams lined up to take the court on Saturday, February 6th, 2021. The list of teams have a combined 220-40 record that will put Mr. Basketball candidates Pierre Brooks, Kobe Buffkin, Legend Jeter, Julian Lewis, Julian Roper, as well as juniors Javon Hanna and Mason Dock, all in the same field. NCAA bends the recruiting curve. Among the new guidelines for Division I schools announced by the NCAA on Wednesday afternoon were a few nods given to coaches, allowing them some flexibility in dealing with recruiting under the stay-at-home restrictions imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The D1 Council Coordination Committee announced that starting May 11th through the end of the dead period, it was lifting the restriction on the number of uncommitted athletes and family members who could be on a recruiting call with a coach, and that other staff members could join coaches on calls with recruits. Coaches can participate in virtual camps and clinics as long as potential recruits are not in attendance. Recruits who have met the academic requirements to graduate high school or transfer to a D1 school may participate in virtual team activities. The committee will meet again next week to decide whether to extend the dead period through June 30th. The dead period currently expires on May 31st.
And finally, the CYO loses a legend. Catholic League Hall of Fame coach and former Catholic Youth Organization Director Joe Charnley died Tuesday after a prolonged battle with cancer. An all-state basketball player at Detroit St. Gregory in the 1960s, Charnley began his coaching career 2 years after graduating from Shaw College in 1972 with stops at Redford Catholic Central, Riverview Gabriel Richard, Redford St. Agatha, Detroit Benedictine, and Dearborn Divine Child. In 26 seasons, he won more than 300 games, 15 district titles, and 3 regionals, and was inducted into the CHSL Hall of Fame in 1997. He took over his role as the CYO director in 2000. Those are the headlines. Let's get to today's Hungry Howie's Twitter question of the day. Which would you like to see added as the next official MHSAA sport? Girls flag football, boys volleyball, girls wrestling, or esports? Find State Champs Michigan on Twitter, and please vote for today's question of the day. We'll read the results tomorrow. Well, today on Live, we are joined by the current Dean of Students and head football coach at St. Clair Shores Lakeshore. But he's so much more than that. Richie Popp. I first met Coach Popp when he was helping orchestrate the amazing offense that the Brother Ice teams deployed when they were in the midst of their 3 state titles between 2011 and 2013. His quarterback camps are legendary. And when he took over the Shoreans football program back in 2017, they had just a total of 4 wins combined the previous 2 years. Since then, the program has 14 wins under Coach Popp. Thanks for being on the show, my friend.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Lauren.
All right. Well, you are a man who loves to motivate, and we love that. I know you love working with people, especially young people. Today, we're going to focus on the positives during the pandemic. The opportunity that so many of us had to reconnect with family is really an unprecedented opportunity.
Absolutely. I think for a long time, many of us have been trying to find different ways to slow things down and dinners at the table, conversations with the youth, taking care of different things with one another as a family. And I think this is a perfect opportunity to take that under our wing, if you will. And then when we come out of this, hopefully we learn the lesson of how wonderful it's been to reconnect with our families in many ways, not just as I mentioned in the home, but other ways using technology and devices and such.
Well, this also gives us an incredible chance to focus on bettering ourselves, right? A little introspection.
Absolutely. I think when we're going through the sprint of everyday life, I think we get lost in all the things we need to do and lose ourselves to some extent. And I think this is an opportunity for people to do some self-reflection, some focus on their own self, to do some self-care. Being in education now for 33 years and seeing the anxiety disorders and people who are going through some depression, this gives them an opportunity to focus on slowing down and taking the time to focus on getting better themselves. And I think it's working wonders for many. I also know there's the other side of the coin, but I really focus on those people who are building upon themselves, and it's fun to hear those stories.
Talk about learning to discover during this time of distant learning.
You know, Carolyn's a teacher at Brother Rice, and she's doing math, obviously virtually. We've hung up a whiteboard on the dining room table, and as you see in commercials, living rooms are now offices or classrooms, and as are kitchen tables and everywhere else. And one of the major differences here is that each student does not have a teacher immediately to go up to and ask questions to. It's either done via email or other ways using devices. And they're doing some self-discovery. They have to go and find some of these concepts and answers to some of their questions. And I believe it's going to lead into them as they go out of high school into college in the work world, to them being better problem solvers. I firmly believe that. And I think, again, focusing on what we can learn from this and taking lessons into the future, I think that's one of them.
Absolutely. If you have any questions or comments on some of the positive that has come out of this time in your life, now's the time to do it on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. We'll get to them in just a couple of minutes. Richie, how about the ways we can use technology to connect in a positive way?
Well, just last night, as an example, I was on a Zoom call with some family members, and we all kind of commented on, we talk more literally face to face because we're using technology to see one another than we have in a long time, to make sure everybody's okay, what the needs are. And I'm holding 5 to 6 different Zoom meetings with different groups of people, be it some team building with different teams and cultures, some guys from all over the state, some of my QB guys, we work together on that and working on some leadership aspects. But you get feedback from one another, you get to see each other, you get to ask questions. Alex Malzone presented on one of those. So it was an opportunity for him to reach out to guys from Connecticut, out east, as well as guys all over the state of Michigan. Otherwise, that wouldn't be able to take place. So, building relationships, using what we have. And again, this is a time to go ahead and take the opportunity to use our technology and the great uses for it. The FaceTime conversations that you can have. And I know teachers are doing it with Google Meet and other means. That's just to name a few, but people have to reach out and find different ways and discover different ways to communicate. I also believe it's going to help our communication skills because you have to be very thorough and very on point because you're not face to face all the time. And it's important to be a good communicator.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed for sure is that even myself am communicating more visually through Zoom and other avenues with family and friends, whereas before we felt so comfortable just sending a text. But now, because of the situation everyone's in, we want to see each other. We want to talk. We want to reconnect. We have the time. So family gatherings are absolutely possible now, and that's due to technology.
Absolutely. We unfortunately couldn't get together for my granddaughter's 6th birthday, but we did a happy birthday over Zoom. And of course, she's just, giggling and laughing just as if she would if we were there, enjoying the time. And I think you have to take advantage of it. And I think you bring up a great point, Lauren, is, we take so much for granted in our everyday world. Again, this time to slow down. I liken it to someone hung a weight on the minute hand of the clock. You get to on those and realize how thankful we can be and have to be for all that we do have, and taking these opportunities to reach others in different ways, different modalities. And it's kind of fun. Everyone has fun with it. You're changing backgrounds and doing fun things. And I truly believe that it's going to continue on with people who have out of town people who jump on those calls or Zoom or what have you, and continue that.
All right, so maybe it was somebody you reconnected with, or something that positively has come out of this situation where we've all been kind of locked into our homes and things, whether it's reconnecting it with family or whatever. Please get your questions or comments right now on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, and we'll answer them in just a minute. But first, this is what happened this week in State Champs history.
Today, we have an Oakland Activities Association boys lacrosse face-off from 15 years ago. Troy Athens took on Birmingham Unified. In the fourth quarter, the Redhawks' Tommy Rowley gets the goal that made it a 6-6 contest. But in the final minute of the game, BU senior Kyle Wiederstadt would net the game winner. Birmingham Unified won this skirmish 7-6. This week in State Champs history is presented by Lawrence Tech Athletics. Recruit yourself at ltuathletics.com.
All right, so it's clear, Richie, we still have some work to do because, the people, they're just, they're not ready to fully open up yet out here on the social media. Maybe we'll get some responses later, but we did have one comment, and it was from Don Ciravino, who said, Coach Popp is a great man. Excellent choice to have him on the program today.
Well, thank you, Don. I greatly appreciate that. That's kind of you.
It was.
Again,
all right.
Different modality to connect. So good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Coach, I want to do this again in the future. We'll keep it topic driven. And, we're still going to be going through this for a while. So maybe the next stage, we can get some more great advice and some reminders of how important it is to stay connected. And hopefully this is going to be an ongoing trend and not something that disappears once life returns back to normal.
I agree. Again, if we focus on things to be thankful for and don't take little things for granted, I bet we continue with the communication and openness with one another. And, everyone, I hope you're staying strong and staying safe, and realize those positives are right there within your family, and just build on that and share each other. It's awesome stuff.
That's right. He's the Dean of Students at Lakeshore High School, also the head football coach. He is Richie Popp. And Richie, again, we'll talk soon.
Thank you, sir. Take care now.
All right. Thank you. It is time now to take a look at today's MHSAA Clip of the Day.
And that's your MHSAA Clip of the Day.
Well, see, there you go. You ask and you get. So thank you, Walled Lake Northern, for sending out those inspiring messages. We want your short video clip to be today's Clip of the Day. Send us a link to your clip on any of our social media platforms, and we'll check it out. Now, getting back to organized athletic activity is going to happen sooner or later, and our DMC Game Changers segments are designed to help you not only be the best you can be, but also in recovery.
Here at the DMC, we utilize the Normatec boots as a main component of our recovery program. A session on the Normatec boots for 30 minutes is the same as resting for 24 hours. If you don't have access to the Normatec recovery boots, don't forget to include good nutrition, foam rolling, and stretching.
All right, go to our State Champs TV YouTube channel. Check out the Game Changers playlist for the full 2-minute segments on a variety of topics. State Champs RoboZone is your home for competitive robotics. Search RoboZone Show on our free streaming app or any of our social media platforms. Also, State Champs Esports League of Legends high school playoffs are underway and will continue throughout the month of May. Check out Michigan high schools competing for the ultimate honor as State Champ. You can find all of the action on the State Champs Esports Twitch channel. Let's check out the results of yesterday's Hungry Howie's Twitter question of the day. Which Detroit Pro team will be the first to win a championship when we return to normal? And it was the Red Wings. Wow, in a landslide, the Red Wings will be the next champs. Well, that's kind of a great segue into our guest that we will have tomorrow on live. It's going to be a fun show as we catch up with one of our own, Daniela Bruce. She got her start here on State Champs, still does some RoboZone related work for us. And if you haven't checked out the Word on Woodward show, well, you need to. It's a live show on YouTube talking Detroit Red Wings and the Tigers. Daniela Bruce is one of the hosts, and she will talk about the Red Wings and more tomorrow at 2 p.m. for that conversation. And if you know of a guest or a topic we should talk to or about here on live, please contact our show coordinator, Amanda. Her email address is amanda@yellowflagproductions.com. Have a great day. We'll see you back here Friday for another episode of State Champs Live.
Right now, we are all longing for the roar of a crowd, the excitement of a stadium filled with cheering fans, and the ecstasy of celebrating a hard-fought victory. Right now, we're all on the same team, and we must do our part to make sure as many students, athletes, coaches, teachers, parents, and loved ones are there when we have the luxury to resume our rivalries and start rooting for our teams once again. Stay home and stay safe.
State Champs Live is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor. And the Detroit Medical Center. Do you have a sports injury or are just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers.